for over 75 years. For over 7 decades, Pakistan has been using this very land to foment terror against India. So who's to blame really for this? How did we get here? From Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Home Minister Amit Shah to Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, all leaders post-Operation Sindoor have spoken in one voice that PoK is ours and it will be brought back. But the usually restrained Congress party has opened a new front against the current government. Today, the Congress is taunting the BJP that their leader, Rahul Gandhi, can do more than Modi can. Congress leaders claim if Rahul Gandhi was the PM, he would have split Pakistan into two and brought back PoK. Ironical, isn't it? Because Congress's strategy on Pakistan has been talks rather than military action, at least for the last 20-30 odd years. Reclaiming PoK has never really been something its leaders have talked about openly. But if Congress can attack other governments on China, despite ignoring the Chinese threat for decades and ceding territory to it, why can't they talk about PoK despite fumbling action on it multiple times? In politics, anything is possible. Regardless, it is a bold step because it brings into focus all the legacy issues plaguing India on the issue of Kashmir into focus, and we will take that to our guests in just a bit. But like I said, it's a strange new line of attack by the Congress party because hardly ever has the party been seen making such comments on PoK, possibly because of its own history, that history associated with the mess that is this region today. The Congress party may be gung-ho on PoK today, but former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru was even hesitant to allow Indian military action to intervene initially when Pakistan-backed militia attacked Kashmir right after independence. At the time, despite domestic opposition, Nehru internationalized the issue of Kashmir by bringing in the UN to mediate a ceasefire. That was a costly blunder because it gave control of today's PoK to Pakistan, which has never vacated since. Nehru's romanticism on Kashmir is also guilty of bringing in Article 370, which critics argue bred separatism for 70 years and at the very least made integration of Kashmir tougher with the mainland. The history of India-Pakistan conflicts are a series of mistakes but also of missed opportunities. Right at the start, as I said, in 1947, when the first attack on Kashmir began, India did not seek to recapture PoK. Instead, as I said, Nehru brought in the UN to mediate a ceasefire. India had successfully reclaimed territories like Jangar, Srinagar, parts of Titwar, Naushera, Rajouri sectors, but not any further. Now, even if one is to argue that India did not have the wherewithal to wrest back PoK then, what about the 1965 war? Under Nehru again, India had the opportunity again. Indian forces had successfully crossed the border into West Pakistan at multiple points, primarily into Lahore and Sialkot sectors. India was able to capture Haji Pir Pass, though it was later returned via the 1966 Tashkent Agreement. Again, nothing was done on PoK. In 1971, Indira Gandhi famously had 93,000 Pakistani prisoners of war, a great leverage after humiliating Pakistan, but did not negotiate PoK. During Kargil, under Atal Bihari Vajpayee too, India beat Pakistan fair and square, forced Pakistan to vacate newly occupied areas, but did not cross the LC. And one could also argue that even during the current conflict under Operation Sindoor, India had established a superiority militarily against Pakistan, but did not press the issue any further. The reason we keep talking about PoK, and we should, is because of its supreme importance. Its location is of strategic importance, sitting between India, Pakistan, China and Afghanistan. It connects Gilgit-Baltistan with borders China-Xinjiang region. It's of extreme importance security-wise as Pakistan uses it as a base for anti-India activities. Controlling it secures Indian borders and can reduce infiltration. The Indus River, Jhelum, Chenab, which have been much in news because of the abeyance of the Indus Water Treaty, flow from this region, and therefore regaining control will give India more leverage. It is also key from the perspective of balancing power with China, as China has built the Karakoram highway for its own military interests. So, needless to say, even to wrestle back some control from China, it is an important region. The question we ask today, though, is, now that the Congress party claims that they can actually do better if Rahul was the PM to get back PoK, is Congress forgetting its own past mistakes?
पाक ऑक्यूपाई कश्मीर का जहां तक सवाल है, ये केवल भारतीय जनता पार्टी नहीं, देश की संसद का कमिटमेंट है कि पाक ऑक्यूपाई कश्मीर भारत का हिस्सा है और इस पर हमारा अधिकार है।
भारत ने साफ कह रखा है कि बात होगी तो आतंकवाद पर होगी, बात होगी तो पाक ऑक्यूपाइड कश्मीर पर होगी।
పాకిస్తాన్ రెండు ముక్కలు చేసి పాకిస్తాన్ ఆక్యుపైడ్ కాశ్మీర్ ని హిందుస్థాన్ లో చేర్పించుండేవాడు రాహుల్ గాంధీ లాంటి వాడు।
जिस दिन राहुल गांधी के हाथों में शक्ति होगी और भारत का निर्णय लेने का अधिकार होगा, उस दिन पाक ऑक्युपाइड कश्मीर भारत माता के नक्शे पर हिंदुस्तान का हिस्सा होगा। ये मेरा विश्वास है, क्योंकि वो एक बहुत ही दृढ़ निश्चयी व्यक्ति है।
उनकी प्रायोरिटीज पाकिस्तान की बैटिंग करना है, पाकिस्तान की बी टीम के रूप में कांग्रेस पार्टी को बढ़ाना है।
Let's go across to our guest joining us, Matthew Antony, spokesperson of the Congress with us, Major Manik Jolly, who's a strategic affairs expert, Tara Karta, former director of the NSCS, and BJP representative Radhika Khera will be with us very shortly. Matthew Antony, let me begin with you. What is stoking this newfound bravado on PoK? Not really something we have heard from the Congress for many decades now.
Shivani, the PoK has been an issue of concern for long years. But at the same time, in 1994, the parliamentary resolution, the parliament resolution where we unconditionally claimed that, we have made a resolution that the entire JNK is part of India. However, the prime ministers which you mentioned, from Jawaharlal Nehru's time to Indira Gandhi's time to Vajpayee's time to even now, the PoK has not come into the negotiations. But no, this has reached a limit where Pakistan is really getting aggressive with this. And this is not the first time in the BJP's tenure of the last 11 years, Pakistan is getting aggressive with us. And apart from the bravado of BJP in terms of making public statements, you look at the foreign affairs policy, we have no friends nearby. We have no friends in Bangladesh, we have no friends in Maldives, we have no friends in Russia, we have no friends in China, and it was always our policy to keep China and Pakistan at a distance. And we don't have it anymore now. Even Russia, to whom we have supported in the Russia-Ukraine war, is supporting Pakistan with a 2.6 billion. America has been supporting, and we have a sudden ceasefire with no one knows, it's a breakage of the Shimla agreement, where we have a third party coming and negotiating, and there is no official denial from the government of India.
No, the government has denied it. Matthew, let's not go down that path. We've been having this debate for like a week now. The government has denied it. The government has said there was no mediation. Your own Congress leaders have said this as part of the delegations overseas. We can surely rest this issue.
Shivani, but 11 times the US president officially has communicated that he has done the negotiations.
Yes, so
the last one with the South African president.
No denying that Trump has said it. Nobody's denying that. But Indian government has denied that he had a role or trade had a role as far as the negotiation is concerned. Now, we can, keep talking about this till the cows come home, but the reality is the Indian government has denied it. But anyways, I want to come back to the focus, which is PoK today. You're saying that it was always a resolution. You're absolutely right about that 1994 resolution passed by Indian Parliament. But my question is that what makes the Congress make the claim that Rahul Gandhi would somehow solve this problem that even Nehru, even Indira, even Vajpayee, even as so far Narendra Modi has not solved? What justifies that bravado in Rahul Gandhi's capabilities?
Shivani, our leaders Revanth and Mr. Tiwari has made that statements. You have shown that one. Now, I am saying that it's been 11 years and there have been repeated attacks in the border into Kashmir from the Pakistan side. And we have seen the bravado from BJP that, no, we will occupy PoK, we will occupy PoK. They are in the government. I am putting the question back to you. What is the tangible actions or measures apart from the press briefings and the rhetoric? What is it that BJP has done till date to make anyone understand what is a PoK claim which they have been making. Right now, we are not in power. We are out for the last 11 years.
But it's
They've got 11
convenient,
years
no?
to-
When you're out of power, you're saying we'll get it back. Congress was in power for 60 years. It's convenient. That's precisely my question.
So, Shivani, that's what, all the prime ministers before that, when including Vajpayee, continued to stand. Now, we have seen 11 years that BJP is making the same statements. Now we are saying that we have much better expertise in the geopolitical negotiations. We have much better diplomatic relationship with most of the other countries when we were in rule. So we have a better chance of getting the PoK back because Pakistan is going very aggressive. And we have been on the receiving end, from there. We are losing life and we are really reacting there. That's why we are saying that, it's time that, we should claim back the PoK.
Okay, Radhika Khera is also with us. Radhika Khera, the Congress is basically saying it's been 11 years since BJP has been talking about PoK, but really hasn't done anything. And critics can argue, even in this recent conflict, many of your own supporters were upset that you stopped short. If we had established our military superiority so much, why didn't we go further?
It's pretty surprising that the BrahMos fell into Pakistan and Pakistan should be trembling, but it is the opposition Khema, that is the Congress and their leaders who are trembling. Continuous, we've been seeing all ul-jhul bayans from them. Now here the spokesperson is talking about, we will get back PoK. It's been 11 years, boss. We promised ki 370 hatayenge, and today your own leader Salman Khurshid, who at the time when he claims that Batla House ke baad Sonia Gandhi ke aansu bhaye, that time he was correct, but today when he's saying 370 hatne ke baad sab theek hua hai, then it is his personal views according to Jairam Ramesh. So first you get your house in order and decide amongst each other. The former External Affairs Minister of India is talking about how Article 370, which was removed by us, which we promised. Humne kaha tha Ram Mandir banayenge, banaya. Whatever we promised, we did. And we have promised, and the Prime Minister has made it absolutely clear that we will get back PoK. Pakistan trying to talk to us because of the water issue that is happening. They don't have water even in their toilets. We've seen how many film stars of Pakistan have come out. Even in Karachi airport, there's not even water in the washroom. And they don't have water to drink. Yet, India has categorically said that there will be no talks over anything. We will only talk on PoK. And we are absolutely clear, and we've been making this clear even much before the Pahalgam attack, that we are going to get PoK, and we do as we say. From 1947, you've been in power for over 54 years. What stopped you? And please don't say that Rahul Gandhi will get it now. Rahul Gandhi was running the UPA 1 and UPA 2, which is why he had that power to tear the ordinance with Dr. Manmohan Singh got. So Dr. Manmohan Singh was not the Prime Minister. Back then also it was Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi who were running the country. What stopped you from getting PoK? What stopped you from attacking Pakistan after 26/11? Rahul Gandhi went on record to say in his rally, we did not attack Pakistan because we did not want war. Manmohan Singh said this on record, that we did not retaliate because we are a responsible nation. Chidambaram Sri, he said this on record, that we did not want to have any military retaliation. You never had that in you that you want to take back anything from Pakistan. You gave away Aksai Chin, you gave away PoK because of your geopolitical knowledges and your drama and your political knowledge and your friendship with other countries. And today you're talking about that we will do this, we will do that. Today when the army of India has gone inside PoK and has completely finished those terror outfits that were living over there, and when Pakistan attacked us, we went in and attacked the air bases and finished 9 of them. And you have a problem with that? The DGMO comes on record to say and says that Operation Sindoor is ongoing. The Prime Minister has again said that the Operation Sindoor is ongoing and it will continue जब तक घर के अंदर जाकर
Okay, let's stick with the issue of PoK alone.
Operation Sindoor will be ongoing and PoK will come back.
Okay, I'll come back to both of you in just a bit. Let me bring in Major Manik Jolly and Tara Karta as well. Major Manik Jolly, it's very nice to have politicians talk about PoK, we'll get it back. And I understand, as a national resolve, absolutely critical to reaffirm that resolve again and again, politically. It's important for a nation so that we don't forget that this is our resolve. But, it almost feels like this is just political rhetoric by all sides. Because there are issues with reclaiming PoK.
Yeah, thanks, Shivani. So I'll just try and take it objectively that all political parties have confidence of saying we will take back PoK only because they have faith on the armed forces, because they know we have a history of winning, we know we have a history of delivering. So technically, it is not Rahul Gandhi who is confident that I'll get back the PoK. He knows that if tomorrow, if he's the Prime Minister and he says take back PoK, it's the Indian Army, Navy, Air Force that will do the job for him. Now we'll come back to why actually Rahul Gandhi might do this, because he doesn't care about armed forces. You know, that's the only thing. Why we are not taking PoK? Because it has to be a strategic move. It will be a full-scale war. There will be losses in thousands and billions in rupees and thousands in soldiers. So any leader who takes a very objective view of the scenario, he will decide when and at what point in time, and we will go and take back PoK. But a random, if tomorrow our Prime Minister says go ahead, army will go ahead. It follows what the Prime Minister says. But is it the right time to go for it? Is our progress path on something else? Are we still building Atmanirbhar? Do we want to be in a position that tomorrow if the war starts, we are not looking here and there just for some artillery shells? But I don't think Rahul Gandhi understands that. He might actually say go back, take PoK, because he doesn't care for armed forces. Sometimes back he was sitting with the non-commissioned officer and inciting them against their own officers. He has given very loose statements about the OROP. He's often been seen taking that Bharat Jodo Yatra. He made a famous statement that when I was there, terrorists came and talked to me. These are the same terrorists that have been killing armed forces. So leader is a very important thing. Think about the armed forces. Do we want to fight under Rahul Gandhi? I don't think so. And leaders do matter. Because if you have a leader, why did Marathas build empire? Shivaji, Romans, Alexander, French, Napoleon. Do we have that in Rahul Gandhi? I don't think so. And it is fine, one thing to follow order, but the morale and the confidence of the armed forces that will be under Rahul Gandhi will be dismal. And that is why we make joke of Pakistan, that they will never win against us because they never had the leaders, the kind of leaders we had. So while it is nice to keep making statements, a leader has to keep in view the overall geopolitical, economic, the welfare of troops, the capabilities that we have, and then decide when do we go for PoK, and which we definitely should. So more or less I would say we feel more confident that if Mr. Modi has promised someday, he will do it for sure. But I think he knows best when to go for it. Armed forces will always deliver when they are asked to, whether it was 71 under Indira Gandhi or Kargil under Mr. Vajpayee. But we need a leader who we can confidently follow. That's
you know, strangely, it's not Rahul Gandhi who has made these comments. It's actually other Congress leaders who've made these comments, and now these comments will stick. Rahul Gandhi will be asked the question, when are you getting PoK? If at all Congress was to come back to power, and if Rahul Gandhi was to be the Prime Minister. They've also, of course, pitched Rahul Gandhi now as the next prime ministerial face for the Congress party. So, Tarakat, I want to bring you in without dragging you into the politics of it, but it is ironical that the Congress party of all parties is saying we could do this better because they had opportunities to do this better. Congress drops at the drop of a hat the mention of 1971, Indira Gandhi's staunch leadership, the fact that they broke Pakistan into two. But what happened after that? We lost all the leverage and the advantage.
I think the Shimla agreement was one of the most mysterious agreements in history. Why would you not use the leverage that you had? I have never understood it. I mean, forget about politics. I mean, as a standalone agreement, what were you doing? Okay, now, keeping that aside for the moment, I mean, the whole thing of getting PoK back, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, who's one of the ministers I really like, he's very, very calm in what he says. What he said is very different. He said, you need to get them to come to us.
Naturally.
That is an entirely different question. That is like the Berlin Wall fell. Why? Because West Germany was so successful that the East Germans wanted to be a part of that. That is the way to go. I mean, I completely agree that, of course, if the Prime Minister says, go and take back PoK, the armed forces will do exactly as they're told and they'll fight the battle. Taking a territory is, I won't say it's easy, relatively easier. Keeping it is another thing altogether.
So do you feel that while politics may be played on this issue, but actually reclaiming PoK is not possible, would you say? Or not possible in a hurry?
I don't say it's not possible. It is desirable. There is a parliamentary resolution. But the smarter way is to get them to ask to come to us.
Will that happen, Tarakarta? Will that ever happen?
So many times when I have seen them agitating for a route into Kargil. They've been asking for better trade relations with us. There are protests across before this happened. As recently, I mean, May 25th, protests against land reforms. Pakistan is trying to grab their land. And this is the last colony on earth. They have no passports, they have no rights, they have nothing, they have no rights over their own land. So if you create the right atmosphere, they will want to come to you. That is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Taking over, of course you can take it over. Militarily, no, if you are powerful enough, go ahead. But that's not, well, I mean, if Rahul Gandhi's advisors are saying that, I'm sorry, it's a little hilarious.
You know, like I keep reminding everybody, not Rahul Gandhi who made these statements. Maybe the congressmen have landed him in trouble by, equating this claim with him. But Matthew Anthony, I'm coming back to you because, as some guests mentioned on our show, it's not so much about Nehru and Indira Gandhi or Rajiv Gandhi alone. Even as recently as 2008, post-Mumbai attacks, the Congress government did nothing to send a message to Pakistan. Forget reclaiming PoK, there wasn't even a military action. Let me also remind you, Rahul Gandhi is quoted to have said that Hindu terror in India is worse than Islamic terror to his American counterparts. Do you really believe that Rahul Gandhi will be the one who will be even interested in getting PoK? The world view that the Congress espouses today is diametrically opposite, even to the memories of Nehru and Indira Gandhi.
Shivani, those two leaders of ours have made that statement. So I don't want to go much into that statement. They say that statement because of the confidence they have in our leader and the expertise our party has got in bilateral negotiations and bilateral geopolitical affairs. Now, I would like to go back to the BJP spokesperson, and the strategic support of BJP who's giving names to Rahul Gandhi cannot do it, Modi can do it. Let's say that 50 years we didn't do it. That's what the assumption is, or that's what when you are saying. 11 years, when the BJP spokesperson will go into the entire world speaking about Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Salman Khurshid and all of things, but never will speak about why they didn't do PoK till now. 11 years, 2 terms, and running the 3rd term. What have you done to claim PoK back? Come squarely to the question. Rather than going here and there and watching about, we didn't do 50, we didn't do that.
Radhika, I'll just come to you. I have a follow-up for Matthew.
Okay. That's what I'm putting the question back to you. Rather than going around and beating around the bush and bringing all of the topics into this one, speak to the subject. What have you done in 11 years to claim PoK back?
Okay, Radhika, go ahead.
At the start of the debate, I joined late. All I heard the Congress spokesperson talk about was their geopolitical wisdom of the Congress. 1947, Jawaharlal Nehru refused Indian Army's clearance to retake PoK. What was stopping Jawaharlal Nehru? He ran to the UN. 1950s, you remember this famous dialogue of Jawaharlal Nehru where he said, "Not a blade of grass grows in Aksai Chin." And those grasslands of Aksai Chin are now with China. What have you done? But yet Rahul Gandhi famously goes to China, has secret meetings and MOUs with China. When the Chinese counterpart come here, goes for those famous Chinese dinners, and then their communication head comes and denies it on national television. Oh, there was no dinner. Then he'll come after 15 minutes when a picture is released that yes, there was a dinner. 1963, Pakistan. Sir, I did not speak in between. Have the courage to listen. I was a part of the media department then. I know exactly what Randeep Surjewala made a statement after that. So don't come and talk here. You were not even there. 1963, Pakistan gifted part of PoK, that's the Shakskam Valley, to China. Not one word of protest from the Congress till today. What did you do after that when you were in power to get it back? Nothing. 1988, Rajiv Gandhi signed a nuclear deal. You signed a nuclear deal with Benazir Bhutto. And his mother, what did she do? She was ready to... Shivani, I did not speak in between.
I don't want this. I don't want this. I expect all guests to just...
If you have so much of rage, go to the border. Don't come and talk in between when I'm talking in here.
Matthew, I'll give you your time. Matthew, I'll give you your time. Let's not do this. Neither of you will be audible. Radhika, please finish. Yes.
Shameful, no respect when others are talking. Rajiv Gandhi signs his treaty on the nuclear deal. He goes and tells the Pakistani counterpart that every few months we are going to share where our nuclear establishments were. His mother went on to offer the nuclear entire technology of India to Bhutto, and Bhutto rejected it. But she was like, nahi, hum to apne neighbor ko dene ko taiyar hai. Shameful. And you talk about Indira Gandhi's grandson and Rajiv Gandhi's son is going to get PoK back. Shameful. Rahul Gandhi must apologize. Why did they give Aksai Chin to For China, why did they give a part of PoK to Pakistan?
No, but
Only
Radhika, is it fair?
Once Rahul Gandhi does come to power, we will only end up losing more of Kashmir, and I say this with utmost responsibility. If Rahul Gandhi by mistake, वैसे आएंगे नहीं, next 40 years also Congress has no chance. Mark my words. They have no cadre, nothing on ground. They don't even hold their own house together. Salman Khurshid says something else. Salman Khurshid, चलिए हम तो कहते हैं शशि थरूर तो आपके लिए सबसे बुरे हैं.
But Radhika, is it not unfair to expect Rahul Gandhi?
Said that what Trump has said is wrong.
No, but Radhika, isn't it unfair to expect Rahul Gandhi to atone for what happened under Jawaharlal Nehru?
Why not?
The question
See,
remains
Rahul
unanswered,
Gandhi
Shivani. What has BJP
I-
done in the last
it was
11
One by
years?
one. Matthew, I'm coming to you next.
Then
Matthew,
his
I'm coming to you
grandmother,
next. Not like
then
this,
his
please.
father,
Yes.
and they're all leaders of the See, whether it was his great-grandfather Jawaharlal Nehru, his grandmother Indira Gandhi, his father Rajiv Gandhi, they were all leaders of the same Congress that Rahul Gandhi is today leading. It is the same ideology which gave away Aksai Chain to China, which gave away parts of PoK and gave away PoK to Pakistan. So questions will be asked.
Okay.
कि भारत किसको चाहता है? Why is and Narendra Modi ji is getting all those back. He is going to correct the mistakes made by Jawaharlal Nehru. Correct the
You keep
mistakes
saying
made by
that. That's
Indira
the
Gandhi
question.
and
It's been 11
Rajiv
years.
Gandhi.
That's exactly the question that Congress is asking. You've been
But
saying
we
that
are
for
doing
11
it.
years.
Tell me,
So this
tell me,
Operation
Shivani,
Sindoor
when was
was
the last time that you saw that the Indian army went inside
Objectively,
Pakistan?
Radhika, let's
let's
not get impassioned.
Kab hua tha?
Objectively speaking, Operation Sindoor could have been
No,
seen as
it
an
is.
opportunity.
It is a matter of my nation.
Absolutely, I feel as strongly as you do.
Which was given away.
Ma'am, I feel as strongly as you do, but objectively a question can be asked
tell
that
me,
why
when
didn't
was
we
the
go
last time the
further?
army went into
Why didn't we
Pakistan
go
and
further
finished
during
everything
Operation
off?
Sindoor?
कब हुआ था? नो एयरबेस कब खत्म किए गए थे? बताइए आज आप मुझे. कब इंदिरा गांधी या कब राजीव गांधी या कब जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने ऐसा?
Then why did we go further?
Operation Sindoor is still on, and Prime Minister has said this yesterday. And we continue to say this. The DGMO has come on record to say Operation Sindoor is still on.
Okay.
Why is it hurting the Congress that the Operation Sindoor is on?
Okay, I want to ask Matthew a question.
BrahMos is falling in Pakistan, but it is causing tabaahi in the Congress 24 Akbar Road office.
Okay, one second. Matthew, my question to you is you keep raising this thing that Congress somehow has better geostrategic understanding, understands diplomacy better. You know, today the Congress party is attacking Shashi Tharoor. It's attacking Salman Khurshid. It is nervous about Anand Sharma. It is nervous about Manish Tiwari when they are your representatives on India's historical stance and diplomacy. If you're so proud of your diplomatic, experience, why are you attacking your own leaders today?
Shivani, official position on this particular matter, just like how you said the government made a statement on the Trump factor, we have made our position very clear that we were unhappy with the parliamentary procedure not respected by the BJP, who is running government of India at this point of time, that we were not consulted to have the names with us. And after that, leaders are making statements, so in Congress party, leaders have the freedom to make statements. Like,
but if you attack your own, the ones who are doing a stellar job of taking India's diplomacy overseas, then questions will arise of the judgment of what is the message that Congress wants to send. I'm afraid those questions will arise. Let me bring in Major Jolly.
I'll put a question back to you on this one.
Yes.
That why after this Pahalgam incident, tell me which are the countries who have supported India after this incident geopolitically.
I'll take your question to Darakarta. No, fair question.
Even Colombia is supporting Pakistan.
What has stopped them from taking action against Shashi Tharoor and Salman Khurshid and Manish Tiwari? Suspend them from the party for not following the party line. Throw them out of the party.
Okay, let's not derail. Major Jolly, I want to come to you very quickly. Questions will be asked under whom? Let's compare the UPA 10 years and let's compare the Modi 10 years. We can't go back into history. Times were different in 1947, even in 1965. But under UPA and under NDA, which government has had a better strategy of dealing with Pakistan? I think that's an objective question that can be asked.
Sorry, Shivani, can you repeat under which party?
Under the 10 years of UPA and under the 10 years of Narendra Modi. Objectively, a comparison can be made which government has had a better strategy to deal with Pakistan.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Mr. Modi. There's no doubt about it. It is not about, let's say the earlier when we have had Kashmir problem, mainly we have had since the independence, but the terrorism started peaked in 90s. You've seen Congress making friends with the separatists. They've been pampering them. They've been supporting them for political causes, whereas BJP took a very hard stand on that. We've done surgical strike. The number of attacks have reduced. We've done air raids. We've done Op Sindoor. And I would just like to say one thing here. This is, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks after Op Sindoor. Collectively, the country, all party, all leaders, as on date, should be celebrating the kind of military success that we have achieved. We've raised their air bases to ground. We'd attacked, gone inside, defeated their air defense systems, and secured a wall. Secured our country as a wall by air defense. Everybody should be celebrating it, and it's an achievement. It's a military achievement in the entire world. Pakistan took it on a detour and start asking, forget everything, forget our losses, tell me if we hit your Rafale. And the same thing has been picked up by our leaders. It's very disappointing to hear as a soldier that do you want these leaders to be asking the soldiers to go? We are not political pawns, we are not your sacrificial lambs that you will send us ahead just for your political gains. So that when something happens, because first day of war, your 40 or 50 planes might fall. And do we want a leader who sits back here and says, forget your successes, tell us how many Rafales did fall, how many Sukhois you lose.
Right.
That's something I would like to say, that it's not something that actually motivates the soldiers to fight ahead. It is very shameful of all leaders across the country who objectify this entire operation and turn it into a one simple thing. Tell us how many Rafales did you lose. It's a war.
Absolutely.
Things will happen.
Absolutely. No, this is also problematic because it is giving a handle to our opponents, not what any political party should be trying to do at this stage. But Tarakarta, final minute to you. Matthew Antony asks the question, who is standing with India? Don't you think that's a fair question to ask? Are we not more isolated on Kashmir and Pakistan today than we were earlier?
No. Can I please answer that?
Radhika ma'am, this is Tarakarta's time, please. Yes.
No, there have been a whole lot of the smaller countries whom we tend to ignore, who have stood with us very strongly. I mean, in France, for instance, and France is not a smaller country, but they've stood with us. Let's not equate everybody with the US. The US position is always been the same, by the way. Trump has last term, thrice he offered mediation on Kashmir. So this is Trump being Trump. So don't equate his position with everybody else. Nobody likes this terrorism angle. It's just that the world overall is so obsessed with the Ukraine and the Gaza and the conventional war that this thing sort of went off the mark. But what I really want to say is, see, in all my years with Congress and BJP governments, Congress had its reasons for doing what it did after Mumbai. I mean, that was a whole different ball game. Financially, you were in a very bad position. Militarily, you were in a bad position. So your choices were different. They handled it very well. But Sindoor has been brilliant. There is no doubt. I mean, the way it was done, with, like I've said before on your channel, with such control, with such very clear maintenance of aim, selection of aim, which is the principle of war. It was brilliant. After that, what happened in terms of political infighting, I would prefer it never happens. That's all I'd say.
We echo. I think most of us echo that sentiment, but I'll leave it at that. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. Moving on to the other big drama that's unfolding. Kamal Haasan, the prominent actor, filmmaker and politician who's all set to enter Rajya Sabha, recently made a statement over Kannada language that has left many fuming in the state of Karnataka. The remark stirred strong reactions, igniting a debate on linguistic pride and regional identity. Kamal Haasan, while promoting his upcoming film Thug Life, said Kannada was born out of the Tamil language. The remark, made in the presence of top Kannada actor Shivraj Kumar, who has defended the former, saying Kamal Haasan has expressed great admiration for Bengaluru and speaks with pride about the city. Not once but twice now, Kamal Haasan has said that he has said nothing wrong and he will not apologize. His defiance has irked Kannada groups and few state ministers who are now calling for a boycott of his upcoming film. Now, both Tamil and Kannada are Dravidian languages with a very rich history. Linguists find that they are the major languages of the Dravidian family, but they developed as separate branches from a common ancestor, which is the Proto-Dravidian. Kannada is one of the oldest Dravidian languages with a rich and well-documented history that dates back over 2000 years. It belongs to the southern branch of the Dravidian family, which also includes Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Tamil, of course, remained geographically and culturally rooted in the Tamilakalam region. Kannada speakers moved westwards to what is now Karnataka, leading to independent linguistic evolution. Both languages share linguistic DNA and syntax, but the syntax and vocabulary are different. And while Tamil is older, naturally, and it is accepted to be an older language than Kannada, would it be fair to say that Kannada derived from Tamil and grew out of Tamil, or did they grow separately, as has been the claim of Kannada groups? So that brings us to the big debate that we're having tonight. Is this all a publicity stunt? Because there's not much to back the actor's claim. Or is this really regional parochialism, language parochialism taking center stage again?
இது அந்த ஊரில் இருக்கும் என் குடும்பம், அதனால தான் அவர் இங்கே வந்திருக்காரு. அதனால தான் நான் பேச்சை ஆரம்பிக்கும் பொழுது நான் உயிரே உறவே தமிழே என்று ஆரம்பித்தேன். அதில் தமிழிலிருந்து பிறந்தது தான் உங்கள் பாஷையும். அதனால் நீங்களும் அதில் உட்படுவீர்கள்.
See, they are confusing the issue. I think what I said was said out of love and with a lot of historians who've taught me language history, and that I didn't mean anything.
I've been threatened before, and if I am wrong, I will apologize. If I'm not, I won't. It's my lifestyle. Please don't tamper with that.
The fact is that the scholars, great scholars, had said that Telugu, Kannada is born out of Tamil. There is nothing wrong in it.
Just asking an apology, he will still more become a bigger person rather than just sticking on to it. I personally feel it's high time that he need to relook whatever he has said, come what may, rather than defending it. He should just ask an apology.
I'm joined by Rashmi Sawant, who's a rights activist, and C. Rajashekharan, a lawyer based in Tamil Nadu as well, joining us. C. Rajashekharan, why is Kamal Haasan refusing to apologize? Because many historians feel his statement is erroneous. Tamil may be an older language, but it's unfair to say that Kannada came out of Tamil language.
Absolutely. I feel that it's
One second.
Shivani, good evening.
Rashmi, I'm coming to you next. This is for C. Rajashekharan. All right. Seems like we've lost that link with C. Rajashekharan. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Back.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think, actually, Shivani, every person who lives in a state, especially in southern part of the country, has their own love, affection towards the language. That is the reason Kannada in Karnataka, Kannada is seen as the lifeline of every Kannadiga. In Tamil Nadu, every Tamilian feels he is a proud Tamilian. Tamil is our pride. Likewise, it applies to Andhra, Kerala, and other southern states. Actually, I need to use this phrase in Tamil for the understanding of the viewers throughout the Tamil diaspora around the globe. Kal tondri, mun kalatil, tondriya mozhi, Tamil mozhi means even before the Stone Age, before the ancient age, it is the oldest language, Tamil. From Tamil only, all other languages came. This was the history which speaks about the Tamil language. And we also claim that we are the oldest race. We claim to be from the Kiladi. Kiladi means you can now, the archaeologists are going and finding, exploring lot of places which is more than 10,000 years old. Likewise, each and every record, history, speaks, says, establishes that Tamil is the oldest, senior-most language of all
But that's
languages.
different from being the parent language. You're confusing two issues. Let Rashmi also come in on this.
No, I'll tell you.
Yes?
I'll tell you. It is just a collective statement. If you want to divide and rule, everybody is entitled to do so. But saying that my language is the oldest language, we have even the Prime Minister
But
goes
see,
around the world
Rajashekharan,
and
nobody
says,
is
Mr.
disputing.
Modi,
I said so myself. I said so myself that
please,
Tamil is
please, yaar, come
definitely
on.
an older
Arey
language.
Baba, come on, yaar. Listen to me. See, the
Yes.
Prime Minister goes around the world and says, Yadum Ure Yavurum Kelir. Oh, the famous poet Kaliyan Pungundranar. Likewise, everybody is, the Sengol in the parliament was established by Prime Minister Modi. So, because Tamil has its own legacy, own pride,
Sir, you're
it has
confusing
got
the
its
issue.
own
May I
history.
please come in now? I'm only saying being an older
Yes,
language doesn't automatically mean you are a parent language. Was Kannada born out of Tamil is the question here. Nobody is disputing that Tamil is the older language. Yes, Rashmi Sawant.
I'll tell you.
One second, sir.
Well,
Rashmi
Shivani,
Sawant. Is Kamal Haasan being
Well, Shivani-
egotistical about this?
Well, Shivani, I feel like Kamal Haasan has no authority on languages. He's not a linguist. He's not studied languages or read anything about it. What he said was a political statement, and you cannot take a political statement to be a factual statement. And all of the politicians trying to lap up to what Kamal Haasan said and defend him are actually in the wrong. And it's deeply hurtful as a Kannadati to hear such statements being made about my language. I think every language is special and it has its own history and it should be discerned from linguists. And linguists clearly say that Kannada was not born out of Tamil. We are not disputing the status of Tamil, but Kannada was definitely not born out of Tamil. And I think all politicians need to stay away from topics which are none of their business.
No, but Kamal Haasan says that this is what he was told by historians and linguists. And he's saying he said nothing wrong. He's sticking to his claim.
If you look at any studies, Shivani, which are available online or offline, or you look at any study of the Dravidian languages, then you see that they might belong to one family of languages, but they weren't derived from one another, and Kannada was definitely not derived from Tamil. So this is, this is what linguists say and have gone on record, especially after this controversy coming out. Respected linguists and, authors of the Kannada language have come out and said that. And I think it's an extreme moment of pride for us that the Pulitzer Prize, that a prize has been, an international recognition has been accorded to a Kannada book that was translated. So at this moment, it's extremely disrespectful for Kamal Haasan to be making such statements, and he needs to stay away from topics which he has no expertise in. And he can talk about films, filmmaking, and things that he's astute about, and not get into topics which he has no knowledge about. This is just deepening the divide between the two states. And as a Kannadati, I do respect Tamil. If I go to Tamil Nadu, I will speak in a little bit of Tamil that I know, but I do not accept the fact that Kannada was born.
He's basically the problem here is, see, Rajashekharan, that he's not only talking about the historicity of the Tamil language, which is not under dispute, certainly one of the oldest languages that exist, but he's kind of trying to, maybe his statement came across as trying to project that Tamil is the superior language from which Kannada came from. Mr. Rajashekharan, let's see if you can come back. The problem here is exactly this. There are certain theories, claims, particularly related to Dravidian history, even Aryan invasion and so on, that have been peddled for so long. Some of them have been since refuted. But there is this pride, this Tamil pride that gets, ingrained because of certain of these theories, and maybe a certain section is refusing to let go of those theories. Yes, Mr.
Shivani, Rashmi ಅವರೇ నేను ನಿಮಗೆ ఒక ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ఒక ವಿಷಯ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ತಾವು ಮಿಸ್ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಿವೆ. ಕಮಲ್ ಹಾಸನ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ತಮಿಳ್ ಓಲ್ಡೆಸ್ಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಎಂದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮಿಸ್ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ದ ಹೋಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್.
ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ವಾಸ್ born from ತಮಿಳ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ನಂಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. ಏನ್ರಿ ನಿಮ್ ಬೇಕಾದಾಗೆ ನೀವು ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟಬಲ್. ನಿಮ್ ಬೇಕಾದಾಗೆ ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿರಿ, ನಾವು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ತಮಿಳನ್ನು, ನೀವು ಕನ್ನಡವನ್ನು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ?
Rashmi Sawant, why I tried to speak in Kannada, I'll tell you, it is a broken Kannada, but we are so open-minded, broad-minded, we are so friendly to our states But even I don't mind speaking Kannada language without
I don't
any
mind
fear or
speaking.
favor. Because
Why should you mind? One second. Can I come in?
I don't mind
Can I
speaking
come in?
any language.
You know, this is precisely the kind of linguistic chauvinism that has become an utter problem in these states. Why should you mind? What do you mean? That despite the fact that I am Tamilian, I don't mind speaking in Kannada. What do you mean? You want brownie points for that?
No. See, I'll tell you.
It's extremely chauvinistic.
This
Do
is
you
the
want me to talk to you in
attitude,
Tamil
and
right
this
now?
is the
Tamil, are
general
you?
mindset of each Tamilian.
Yeah,
We
okay.
are
Okay,
proud
Rashmi,
Tamilians.
one by
See,
one.
I'll tell
Rashmi,
you,
I have limited
we
time.
are
One by
proud
one.
Tamilians, but we don't
So
hate
I can
any
also be
other
chauvinistic towards
clan.
you. I can also be chauvinistic towards you, and I can
Neither
speak in.
we say
Ma'am, Tamil,
that
are you?
we are the best, others are not good, like that. We don't do that. We
You're
respect
saying
everybody.
that. We don't
That
do
is
it.
Vandare Valalaikum Tamil Nadu. That means
You're just turning. Listen, you're just turning your own statement against it. We never spoke about.
Can I come in, please?
We never.
Both of you, can I please come in? Let me just recenter this debate. Mr. Rajashekaran, one second. Please calm down. Nobody is denying the historicity of the Tamil language, the glory of Tamil language. Please understand. You don't have to give us lessons on that. My question to you was that is there a problem that certain theories, as Kamal Haasan says, this is what I have been told. Now there is contrary evidence available. Is there some alternate theories that Tamilians have been told they're unwilling to give up those theories? That is my question to you.
Say, I'll tell you, Shivani, say, whatever Kamal Haasan told or whatever Kamal Haasan is saying, I'm not the spokesperson of Kamal Haasan, though I was the founder member of his party before.
Yes.
But fact of the matter is, I'll tell you, see, we Tamilians are always broad-minded, magnanimous, generous towards everybody. That is the reason.
I'm not disputing that.
Being the oldest language, we always love to be with everybody.
But please accept our superiority. I'll give last 20 seconds to Rashmi. Rashmi, you know, there is a problem when we allow, even in Karnataka, I dare say, linguistic chauvinism has crossed a line where people have stopped thinking objectively.
Absolutely, Shivani. I think the necessity here is to stick to facts which are backed by evidence, and evidence such as, the discovery of the Pashupati sign, be it in the, older civilizational excavations, and not also fall into the sort of propaganda that people like Bishop Caldwell left behind in colonial India. So I think there's necessity for Indians to reclaim their history based on archaeological evidence and first basis of research that they do, and not fall for these, foreign peddled agendas. And, this, I absolutely agree that chauvinism is crossing all lines. You can see it from the very argument that the co-panelist here is making.
All right.
That just because he can speak in Kannada, that makes him magnanimous. So I can speak in Tamil too. We are not competing here. We respect your language.
Exactly. Let's not have competitive politics on language if it is the aim to respect all languages. I leave it at that. I do thank our guests for joining us. Well, it is Friday. Here's a snippet of the upcoming Plain Speak podcast this weekend. We focus on the extreme anti-Semitism on US streets and college campuses that has been the focus of the Trump administration as well. What is fueling this extreme hate, bordering on violence, and in fact leading to the killings of 2 Israeli embassy staffers in Washington, D.C.? I spoke to Asra Nomani, who's a former Wall Street Journal journalist, looking into the nexus of ultra-left, communists, and Islamists that she says are funding these protests.
You're exactly right. This young man, Elias Rodriguez, who murdered 2 innocent staffers from the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C., on the streets of D.C., was expressing the same ideology of hate that took Danny's life 23 years ago in Karachi, Pakistan. And what is shocking but so important for us to understand is that the men who killed Danny were expressing an extremist interpretation of my faith of Islam. A lot of people now call it Islamism in order to differentiate it from the Islam that my parents raised me to be, so that I can be a Muslim feminist wearing this pink for you, as you are wearing also, as a color of Islamic feminism. And so those were the Islamists, these extremists. We are well familiar with them. Al-Qaeda, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Harkatul Mujahideen, all of these men who are laying claim on the lives of Indians also. And so now what is so disturbing for me, especially in the United States, is that these Islamists have united with the far leftists in America. And that is what we must investigate the world over, because they are doing this not only in the United States, but in India, in the UK, and throughout the world. I wrote this book, and I'm just going to show you the illustration just so that people can understand it. We know very well the hammer and sickle. You know, India was a proud member of the non-aligned movement in my childhood. And I was proud too of the idea that we were non-aligned. But nonetheless, this was the hammer and sickle that represented those days of communism. And this is the star and crescent of Islam.
Yes.
So as a Muslim, I am, you know, of course, in part this representation of Islam, but I refuse the extremist interpretation. And what we have now is an unholy alliance between these two groups. And so that young man, Elias Rodriguez, he shouted, "Free, free Palestine," not just in the normal way that most people would say, but in the sing-song way of the propaganda that these Islamists and leftists are chanting from the streets of Delhi to the streets of America. And that is why we have to investigate this, because this is not just an America problem or an Israel problem. This is a global problem. And that is what they call themselves. Just as you say, they are so proud of themselves in the global intifada. And that we must launch our own global response that refuses this and practices, you know, a moderation that I'm so proud my ancestors have practiced in India, that your ancestors have practiced, and that we can be a model for, I believe, as citizens and ancestors of India.
Do you feel, as these activists may claim, that actually they are the humanitarians, they are raising this voice because of a humanitarian cause in Gaza? Do you feel that there is no distinction between them and the absolutely radical fundamentalist Islamist ideology?
There is absolutely no difference between these far leftists and the Islamists. And the real idea that I want people to remember is that, you know, sectarianism kills. That is what murdered Danny. Sectarianism is identity politics. What is sectarianism? Sectarianism is a hierarchy of human value. And as a classic liberal and a feminist, I have rejected this idea that any human being is above another human being. And that's fundamental human rights. So we cannot replace old hierarchies of human value with their new hierarchy of human value. And I'll just bring it to life. What does that mean? That means, for example, that a Jew is now a white person, and thus is this new idea of oppressed and oppressors, the oppressor, and must be then exterminated. Indian is now, because they might succeed in America, the white adjacent. A Hindu, because they may have some businesses or some power in Silicon Valley, is now considered the new white. You know, and that's not okay. What that does is erase people's identity, and these people are united in a tyranny, and they are actually the ones who are anti-human rights.
88 hours of justice delivered.
9 terrorist camps were targeted and successfully destroyed.
Winged furies that broke the back of terror. A cold message that India would take it no more. Watch the most definitive account of Operation Sindoor as it unfolded, as India changed the face of war that brought Pakistan to its knees.
Operation Sindoor, ये सिर्फ नाम नहीं है.
Inside Operation Sindoor, 88 hours that redefined India. This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री श्रीमान योगी आदित्यनाथ जी, केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल के मेरे साथी, यहां उप मुख्यमंत्री केशव प्रसाद मौर्य और श्री ब्रिजेश पाठक जी, उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार में मंत्री, सांसद, विधायक और विशाल संख्या में पधारे हुए कानपुर के मेरे प्यारे भाई और बहनों, एक बच्ची शायद यहां कोई पेंटिंग बना करके जरा एसपीजी के लोग उसे ले ले। उधर भी कोई एक चित्र बना करके लाया है, उस कोने में आप अपना अता पता उस पर लिख देना, मैं चिट्ठी भेजूंगा। एक उधर कोने में कोई नौजवान है, उसका अता पता लिख लीजिए ताकि मैं आपको चिट्ठी लिखूंगा। ये इधर एक बालक कब से हाथ उठा रहा है, तेरे कंधे पर दर्द होगा आज, थक जाओगे। आज कानपुर का उत्साह बड़ा जोरों पर है भाई। उधर कोई जरा फोटोग्राफर उधर देखो, एसपीजी के लोग जरा उस बच्चे को मदद करो। भारत माता की, भारत माता की। कानपुर में विकास का एक कार्यक्रम 24 अप्रैल को होने वाला था, लेकिन पहलगाम हमले के कारण मुझे अपना कानपुर दौरा रद्द करना पड़ा। पहलगाम के कायरना आतंकी हमले में हमारे कानपुर के बेटे शुभम द्विवेदी ने भी इस बर्बरता का वो शिकार हुए। बेटी ऐशन्या की वो पीड़ा, वो कष्ट और भीतर का आक्रोश हम सब महसूस कर सकते हैं। हमारी बहनों बेटियों का वही आक्रोश ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के रूप में पूरी दुनिया ने देखा है। हमने पाकिस्तान में आतंकियों के ठिकाने घर में घुसकर सैकड़ों मील अंदर जाकर तबाह कर दिए।
Good evening. You're watching The Right Stand here on CNN News 18 with me, Poonam Burde. After a series of denials, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has finally made a big admission of how India pummeled Pakistani air bases and the damage that it suffered. Shahbaz has publicly admitted that Indian forces preempted Islamabad's planned offensive in the intervening night of May 9th and 10th, when India launched the BrahMos missile to strike its key military bases, including at the Rawalpindi airport, proof of which has already been existing. We've seen the kind of satellite imagery that has shown the damage that has been done to all of these military installations in Pakistan, to all of the air bases, including the Noor Khan Air Base, one of the oldest Air Force installations for the Pakistani forces. All of which now, as the world sees the proof of, Pakistan forced to admit of what really the reality was.
9th and 10th night